Yeah. Hello everyone. Thank you very much again for joining in yesterday for our CV session. As promised, I would like to quickly take you guys through the technical side of things just to make it as easy as possible in trying to draft your CV. So the very first thing that I would suggest you do is first of all just go to the website again. So you go to Farouk Abdul-Salam's website, which is here. Then when you get here, you basically go to a sub-session that I created here, which is CV session. So you take a look at this session, which is a CV session. And as soon as you click on the CV session, it will give you all the list of files that I promised you yesterday. So it contains the resume.tech, the awesome CV, and whatnot. Also, make it a point to watch the video if you haven't. That is to say, our discussion yesterday. I realize most of you weren't available yesterday. Just make it a point to understand what we discussed before you try as much as possible to start with this particular technical side of things. Make sure you understand the reason behind what we did. So if you get to my website and get to come to the CV session, that will be the first start, great start. The next session is for you to quickly go onto the other aspect of it, which is to go to LaTeX. If you don't have a LaTeX account, please make it a point to create a LaTeX account. Overleave, I mean. That will help you create your CV. So here, you can just quickly type awesome CV. And as soon as you type awesome CV, it will take you directly to the overleaf. So please keep an eye here. It's going to be the overleaf side of things, right? So if you click on the overleaf, it will, the awesome CV overleaf, it will take you to where the awesome CV setup needs to be. So this was created by someone, I think 4 years ago, blah, blah, blah. This is the name of the author. Yeah, so this was the CV that we are going to utilize. So you just open this template. So you just quickly click on the template and it will just open your account for you if you already have an account. If you don't have an account, they probably might want to ask you to create a new account and get things started. So that's the start. So if you open your LaTeX account, the very first thing you probably might want to keep an eye on is the resume side of things. So if you look at this resume.tech, the green shader side, this is where you start from. So I'll recommend that you delete everything that happens to be in this current setup. So you delete the resume.tech in this current setup. Then you quickly go onto my website and click on this side. It will open it, our resume.tech that we saw yesterday in our discussion. When you click on it, I've already uploaded the file as I promised you guys. Then you copy it and you quickly go back to your LaTeX and you paste it. So you now have your own resume.tech file uploaded. It takes into account what we discussed yesterday, the nature of our segmentation, where we think education needs to be instead of work experience starting, where we think research assistantship needs to be. Ours is somewhat different from the current setup. So just make it a point to delete what you see in the original awesome.cv and replace it with what we have here. So we are going to replace it with the resume, our resume.tech that I uploaded on my website. Now, the next line of action is for you to quickly, again, I think as I mentioned yesterday, is to see the awesome CV.cls. So when you click here, you get to see that it has its own awesome CV.cls created by the original owner. Again, you can make it a point to quickly delete this side, delete everything, go back to my website and look for the awesome CV.cls, click on it. It will show you the file that we used yesterday for our discussion. Just copy it, copy everything here, and I'll go back to your LaTeX and quickly paste it here. So we've effected 2 changes to the original CV setup. So that's how we are going to play with this particular setup. Now, the third aspect of it is the resume side of things. So when you look at this resume side of things, they have sub folders, the committee, their education section is different, their experience section is different. So this happens to be DS. So what we will do here is, again, the same idea. Within this resume folder, as I indicated yesterday, you can create your own file. So let's create our own file here. You click on this new file and let's label it as section 0, which is basically our summary. So we create our own section 0, which is our summary.tech, and we're going to curate it. It's going to come in and it's going to be empty. So when you click on it, it's going to be an empty file. Okay, so what you need to do here again is to go back to my website and get to see, hey, what is the summary section 0 and the underscore summary about? When you click on what we did yesterday, it's something that looks like this. So you copy it neatly from my website, then you go back to LaTeX and you paste it under the section 0 summary. Then again, you go to the next one. The next one here is you create a new section, the second section that we saw yesterday under our CV, which is section 1, which is education, if I quite remember. So you go again, you create a new file, which is section 1 education. Okay, so you click on it, it's empty. You go back to my website, get to see what is section 1 underscore education about. You click on it nicely. It takes you to this side. You copy it. Then you go to this side, which is basically the section 1. You have it here. So you do this for all the sections that I have here. I believe we have about 11 sections. So just make sure you create these separate sections, you put them in there. And at the end of the day, I believe this should be the appropriate approach. You can come in here to understand your setup. Again, within your setup, when you come, you realize that your CV starts with summary, just like what we did yesterday. We continue by looking at education, then we went ahead to look at skills. We continue to add the research experience, and the final part happens to be the reference. And that's the same thing that you happen to see here. These are the separate files that speak to it. So just follow it nicely, and you should be able to copy, paste in your new LaTeX account, and that should be it, right? And as soon as you click on the compile, you should have your new CV. After this stage, you go ahead and do what I advised. That is to say, hey, this is Farouk's CV. My CV will be different. For instance, I'm not a PhD economist. I need to write whatever summary best defines me. So you probably might want to come in here and effect all the changes that you want to, effect to reflect your own background. For instance, the hyperlinks, please make it a point to remove all the hyperlinks, like the HTTPs and the rest. Make sure you remove them because you don't need those links. Your education, for instance, if you're not from University of Ghana and my file, I'm for University of Ghana, you probably might want to take away University of Ghana and put maybe KNUST if you are from KNUST. If, for instance, you did a different course, political science, you make it a point to remove economics and statistics, which I did, and change it to political science, which might reflect your background. So just make sure you keep an eye on the file, change the respective details to reflect your own background. And when you are done, you just click on recompile. And as soon as you click on recompile, you should see your CV up and running. Let me know if you guys have any questions. I'm happy to, answer them. But again, just make it a point to start, see whether we can get a very good looking CV. And hopefully the grad school application process will be much smoother. So I wish you guys all the best again, as I usually say. And yeah, let's see what comes out of this. All the best, guys. Bye bye.